Hey there, happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a really good week. I myself just got back from New York City last night. I went with my wife and my parents. We went specifically looking for inspiration. My parents have a really cool project where they have a few warehouses that they're working on. And so we went to the source of where a lot of these trends began and just kind of, we went to Chelsea Market, Soho, Brooklyn, and just saw the creative ideas that just pour out of that place. Such a good way to spark an idea. Anyways, this video right here is about you and your questions. The last couple of weeks I've done these trend theory videos and I've had a surprising amount of people ask me questions about specific trends, and I'm really excited to dive into these. And more than anything, I'm just blown away that people are actually responding and partaking in these. It's just amazing. So I've actually gotten a handful of responses, more than I could have expected, but today I'm going to focus on 4 of them. Okay, so I want to start off with a question from someone named Hannah. And I don't know Hannah. She messaged me because of the last few videos, which I just think is cool. That's all. I just wanted to say that. I think it's cool that people are messaging me that I don't know. It just means these videos are working, and I'm really excited about that. Hannah asked a really good question. She wants to know where the future of navigation on desktop websites is going. Man, that's a very specific question. Where are the navigation, like the menu, the home, the about, the contact us pages, like all of that at the top of a website? What are some things that are going to happen in that world? Because that's what she does a lot of. So I do already look at website inspiration all the time, but I did some additional research because I want to give you hopefully some really good value on this. Number one, I think that for the last 10 or so years in this whole minimalism movement, like there has been this idea of hiding the navigation, like making it blend in and feel like it's almost not there, you know? I think that's going away. That's the first thing that is just going to be scrapped. Like functionality in this next wave of trends is the king, like over functionality. So if you have something that you want people to click on, we're gonna make it huge. It's not gonna be in a box with like a ton of negative space and then a ton of negative space around that box. The navigation itself is going to be huge, like in your face. The second part of this is that I believe movement is gonna play an even larger role in web development. Airbnb released a new software not too long ago, maybe like a year ago, that allows animators to export as code. And I mean, you may have already played with this, but I think that we have not fully used all of the power that's in that, you know, like it's still so new that we haven't explored all of that yet. So I think that's going to be huge. Number 3, I think insane colors. Back to the functionality piece of this, like it needs to be so loud. Instead of it being quiet and hidden in a corner, it's gonna be upfront, loud, and colorful. The final thing that I'm going to say is that 3-dimensional design is about to conquer the web space, as well as graphic design, as well as motion design. 3-dimensional is about to take over. I firmly believe that. And so programs like Cinema 4D and Houdini are somehow, I don't even know how this is going to partner yet, but are going to be adopted for web so that you can create complete 3-dimensional objects. And people are already starting to do it, but it's going to get more and more fluid and more realistic and sort of going hand in hand with Google's material design. Like it is going to be a totally new wave. Thanks for the question, Hannah. I hope that helped. The second question is by my good friend Ian. He sent in biomedical engineering. And I kind of thought about just replying to him separately and not really bringing this up in the video, but I thought it would be a really good thing to talk about. Biomedical engineering, I believe, is what you would consider an era and not a trend. I don't think that the progression of medicine or interesting ways of engineering is considered a trend. I think that it is considered an era. I do, however, believe that the word itself is a trend, and I think it's strategically, that marketers and salesmen strategically use words to cut through noise. And biomedical engineering is definitely one of those buzzwords right now. But I don't think that it itself is a trend. Question number 3 that I want to talk about is from Johnny. He said, talk about how Edison bulbs are going out of style. Yes, they are going out of style. They came in because of steampunk, which is like a type of style. Probably in like 2011, 12, Home Depot started selling it in 2015. And so that's like when things start to go down. And now we're sitting at the point where it's like time to move on. And just in case you're wondering, the next thing I believe is neon signs. I think that they fit the criteria of the loud and punchy and bright colors of brutalism and maximalism that are making their way into the next little era. So the 4th and final question that I want to talk about is actually from my sister Megan, who is crazy creative. She asked, how much longer is wallpaper going to be good? This is such a good topic because I can guarantee that you have thought about wallpaper recently, or you've done it, you've used it recently or something. Well, she sent me an article from Vogue in 2014, and this is when they initially talked about it, which is a really good indicator for pretty close to when this trend began. That was in 2014, and now we sit 4 years later. Not that my timeline, my trend theory timeline is perfectly correct or anything, but I do believe that in the next year, we're going to be coming pretty close to that peak adoption rate. And then another 5 years after that, it's going to be like time to get rid of it, you know? So I would say that we still have a solid year of pulling this in, maybe to 2 years, of using this on projects. And then another 5 years after that, where which will be time for us to get rid of it and move on to something else. I do want to add one more thing. Wallpaper is going to be a great learning mechanism for me because this is sort of a unique case. Wallpaper is, yes, it is a trend, but within this trend, there are sub-trends, like styles of wallpaper. And I'm not sure how this is going to play out, you know? Like I need to go back and find some other things with sub-trends to see how those played out. Well, I'm going to stop this here. I have thoroughly enjoyed researching the topics that people have sent me, and I of course will continue to do that. If you have any questions, I just love to do it. So please feel free to always send me a question about a specific trend. This has been great. I hope you have a really good week. I'll see you next Tuesday.